The gap between memorization and conceptual mastery. When knowing feels like understanding. In many classrooms, students can recall definitions, formulas, and steps with accuracy. During review sessions, everything feels familiar. The material seems clear. But when the same concepts appear in a different format or context, something changes. The answer is not as immediate. Confidence starts to shift. This pattern suggests knowing information is not always the same as understanding it. What memorization actually involves. It focuses on storing and retrieving information. Students recognize terms, repeat processes, and answer predictable questions. This is a necessary part of learning, especially for foundational knowledge. However, memorization does not always require deep processing. Information can be recalled without being fully understood. What conceptual mastery requires. Conceptual mastery goes beyond recall. It involves understanding why something works, not just how to perform it. Students with conceptual mastery apply ideas in new situations, explain relationships between concepts, and adapt their knowledge when conditions change. This understanding is more flexible, yet more difficult to develop. Why the gap becomes visible. The gap between memorization and mastery becomes clear when students encounter unfamiliar problems. A memorized method may not apply directly, and without a deeper understanding, it is difficult to adjust. This is often seen in assessments. Performance may drop even if the student has studied extensively. The role of instructional structure. Structured instruction can support learning, but it can also contribute to reliance on memorization. When examples closely match assessments, students may focus on recognizing patterns rather than understanding underlying concepts. Over time, this approach reinforces familiarity without requiring deeper thinking. Assessment and its influence. If tests emphasize recall and predictable formats, memorization becomes the most efficient strategy. When assessments shift toward application and analysis, the limitations of memorization become more apparent. A common classroom observation. It is common to see students perform well on guided practice but struggle with independent tasks. During lessons, support is available and steps are clearly outlined. When that support is removed, students must rely on their own understanding. The difference in performance highlights the gap between memorization and conceptual mastery. Why this matters for long-term learning. Memorized information can fade over time, especially if it is not reinforced through use. Conceptual understanding is more durable because it is connected to broader knowledge. Students who develop mastery are better able to retain and apply what they learn in future context. What research suggests about bridging the gap? Educational research emphasizes active learning strategies, such as retrieval practice, problem solving, and explanation. These methods encourage deeper processing and help students move beyond memorization. Over time, they support the development of more flexible and lasting understanding. Final thoughts. Memorization and conceptual mastery are both part of learning, but they are not the same. The gap between them becomes visible when students are asked to think beyond what they have seen before. Recognizing this difference can help shift focus from simply knowing information to truly understanding it. Thanks for watching.